Hello everybody, this is Carmen and welcome back to my channel with Elemental Designs. Today I'm going to be creating a fall autumn themed flip book. I made this flip book out of envelopes. This is my very first time creating a flip book out of envelopes, and I wanted to record the process just in case some of you guys are wondering more or less how to do it. At first I wasn't really sure how I was gonna get it done, but it actually worked out really well. I just followed my regular method of how I create my flip books, and I like to create my flip books with a spine. I don't rely on washi tape, I only rely on glue, and that helps for the stability and the durability of my flip books. So here you're pretty much seeing me kind of cutting down some strips, and I will give you some measurements. The envelope size is 7 1/8 by 5 1/8. And each strip is 7 1/4 by 1 1/2, which you'll see me flash there. I don't use all of the strips. I end up using 3 of the strips that I cut down, but it's always good to have an extra one just in case you mess up somewhere, be it with the scoring or just with the size overall. And here you see me pretty much scoring them. The one spine I scored at 1/2 inch and 1 inch to pretty much give me a nice evened out base for my spine. I did this twice just in case I messed up on the first one and I had to remove it, or it got damaged. But I don't use the second one. I just have it there as a backup just in case. So here you're pretty much gonna see me grabbing my envelopes and I'm gluing them to the solid base, to the outside of the envelope is where I'm gonna be gluing these strips. Well, this strip, which is going to become the spine. And with these kinds of flip books, you only really need the one spine, which is what's really good, because you can just use up your scraps or anything that you might have laying around. Overall, I really do love creating flip books, and it's been a while since I've done one. And I had a ton of Dollar Tree stickers that were kind of pretty much the same or of the same kind of theme. So I figured, you know what, we're in the season, it's the perfect time to kind of go for it and try something of this nature. I really do love using these kinds of Dollar Tree stickers for these kinds of things, especially the ones with flowers and just the ones that look really, really realistic. They just add like that perfect touch. Now this strip here, this is where I'm going to attach my flip page. So on this strip, you just want to score it at 3 1/4, which is pretty much right down the middle. And again, attaching everything to the solid side of your envelope. So I'm going to glue that down. I pretty much laid both envelopes one on top of the other, making sure that it was facing in the direction that I wanted it to face, and then I just glued it down. And I'm going to do this to both sides. And I wanted this flip book to face inward, but you can pretty much have it facing inward or outward. It all depends on the style that you're going for. I've done it in both ways, and they both come out really well. Just make sure that your envelopes are facing in the direction that you want them to face before you glue. And the glue that I'm using is the Dollar Tree embellishment glue, which is the glue that I use pretty much for all of my paper crafts. Here I'm using a paper pad by DCWV, and it's a rustic paper pad, and I just love some of the papers that are in this pad. Not all, just some of the papers, because I won't lie. But for this one I chose this pinkish one. It's not really too pink and it's not really too red. It's like a mix between like a pink and brown, almost like if you was to add like a little dash of brown to let's say a pink color. So it's like a really weird color like that, but it's a very pretty color nonetheless. So here I'm just taking measurements, and I'm going to be creating all of the covers for my solid side of the envelope. So I'm going to be cutting out 4 of these. Let me see if I wrote down. Nope, I did not write down. So pretty much I covered the entire size of it. So I cut them at 7 1/8 by 5 1/8, just to cover all the sides. Now here I took apart an envelope because I needed to cover the inside of my flip book. I needed to cover the inside of the envelope, but I did not want to paper piece it. So pretty much You're gonna see me do two things here. I'm gonna cut out the part that is gonna go over the top flap of my envelope, and then you're also gonna see me later on cut out what's gonna become the solid base of the envelope on the inside of the book. I wasn't really too worried about having that little piece left over because I knew I was gonna adorn it with some stickers on the ends, so I wasn't really too worried that it didn't come out to an exact point like in the envelope, because that was gonna be covered up. But it's up to you if you want to measure it out so that it fits perfectly and you know, the whole size of your envelope. This envelope has a really it's got a really long flap on the top, so the scraps that I had left over just wasn't enough to cover it all the way to the tip, but that's fine. So I'm going to be cutting out 4 of these, and this is going to match the outside, so I'm using the scraps that was left over from creating the covers for this flip book. Now the envelopes, my sister-in-law brought them to me last Saturday, so I don't know where she got them from. I know that they were like leftovers from her wedding invitations, and she knows that I do crafting and stuff like that, so she just kind of brought them over. I guess whatever she had left over, so I'm not sure where they came from. They don't have any branding or anything like that, so I'm gonna say that any kind of envelope will work. You could even hand make your own envelopes and then proceed to decorate them and cover them, so however you wish to do it is fine. And I believe that this technique will work on any size envelope as long as you measure your spine and you adhere it properly. You should be okay. And notice how there's a little gap between each envelope. You want to make sure that you have that little space between each envelope so that your envelopes will fold over nicely. Otherwise, they're gonna buckle and you won't get a nice close. Now this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because I do include in this the entire process of how I made this flip book, including the tags that are going to go into it, all the decoration, everything is done in this one video. So hopefully you guys like that. If you guys want to see me break down the videos instead of having such a long video, then let me know. But this video is going to be a little bit longer than 40 minutes. And this is all sped up. So you could just imagine how long it took me in reality. I speeded it up at like 500%, so it's really fast. And again, you know, these kinds of projects are really awesome. I kind of turned this one into I guess my version of like a little mini album, if you will, because I included some photo mats to go with it since the envelope itself was so large. I included some photo mats to go in each of the envelopes, which I will create later on in the video. So that if you wanted to add pictures to it, let's say you guys want like pumpkin pinking or anything, you know, that is fall related, you can go over, you can go ahead and add those pictures in there. And again, you know, the theme that you choose is completely up to you. I think that this style of oh, you heard me clapping. This style of envelope flip book will pretty much suit your needs depending on whatever theme you're trying to go for. And it's just a nice way to kind of just add a few mementos and not so many. But again, you can add as many books as you want. You can make this as big as you want. If you wanted to create a larger version of this envelope flip book, then just create more spines. And then all you have to do is just keep doing them the way that I did them and then just attaching them. So pretty much what you would do, well, let me just say this real quick. Right here, this is the sections that I cut out to cover the front of those envelopes on the inside of the book. And I'm just shading them out, and then I'm going to be gluing them, and then I'm going to be gluing them on. So like I was saying, pretty much if you wanted to create a larger style of this album book, then all you would have to do is, after you've created your spines and you've attached your first 2 pages and you've attached the one piece that is folded on the opposite side of that envelope, all you have to do is attach another spine and then repeat the process. Okay, so you would have 2 spines or 3 spines depending on how big you want it, and then it would just all kind of fold into each other in this fashion. and you can create it as big as you like. If that's something that you guys would want to see me do, then let me know, and I'll definitely, I have enough envelopes. She gave me quite a few. Then that's something that I can definitely do, and show you guys more or less how you can make a nice little mini album out of these envelopes. And it's pretty much on the same basis of creating a flip book. Now these steps wasn't really necessary. The paper itself, the envelope itself, has a nice little border to it, and it's not that I didn't like it, because I actually think it looks really nice like that. Even though it's a little simpler like that, it still looked nice. I just wanted to make it nice and sturdy, which is the reason why I just kind of went ahead and covered everything up, so it feels a little bit more solid, and at the same time gave it a little bit of color and a little bit of, you know, interest. I have literally been like trying to just get more crafting done, and more so than just the crafting done, also record a lot of the processes and things that I go through as I create. I think that moving forward, we have a Holly Jolly Christmas hop that's going to be starting in November, and I think that I will also record the process of how I create all the things that I'm going to be creating on that, and I'll just upload a separate video for the process of my projects, and then I'll be uploading my projects when they're due, and then just follow them up with, you know, a process video of how I created it. So if you guys will be interested in watching those, then those will also be available and included. Now here, my original idea was actually to create a pumpkin, but I lost complete train of thought once I did this. So I ended up actually creating something else, which kind of happened on like spontaneously, like it was a complete accident. I wasn't trying to create what I ended up doing, and what I ended up doing was actually creating like a little flower pot, which actually worked out even better because it actually gave me a place to kind of decorate the front with. But here you see that I'm kind of like, okay, well, how do I put these pieces together now that I've done this? But the shape resembled so much like a flower pot that I was like, you know what, let me just do a flower pot with this. And at least it'll have a little bit of dimension just because of the way that it's cut up and folded onto itself. And here I'm trying to complete the oval, but I was like, nope, it's not working. I was going to round everything off and just kind of give it that pumpkin shape and make like a pumpkin pocket, if you will. Like that was my original thought process behind that. So I'll have to practice that a little bit before I actually commit to creating one that'll hopefully resemble a pumpkin. But it ended up coming out really cute either way. I probably could have saved myself the hassle of having to fold them and just cut out the shape, but I think the folds give it interest, especially when you ink them up and you do a little bit of blending on it. I think that it catches, you know, on those folds, it just catches a little bit more ink and just makes it look a little bit more dimensional. Now I turned this into somewhat of a pocket, although I do not use it to add any tags or anything like that. But you'll see more or less what I do with the stickers that I used in order to kind of fill in the little flower pot. Now obviously it's a handmade thing and it wasn't designed to be that, so it's completely off skew, but I think it also adds a little bit of charm because it's a little wonky just like me, so it should hopefully work out well. I did really like how it came out overall. So I just glued the outside edges. I didn't glue the inside because I wanted to be able to put stuff in it, and I wasn't really sure if all I was going to do was add stickers or if I was going to actually end up adding a tag. And here I'm just trying to correct it because I see that it's a little off kilter. So I tried to you know, fix it, but I don't think there was any saving just the way that it looked, so I just left it alone. And you know what, it's a handmade thing by me, so it's fine. I'm not gonna go crazy, even though I did go a little nuts for a few minutes there, like how I'm gonna fix this, it looks completely off. But if you have to be okay with, you know, with the things that you create, they're not gonna all come out perfect, and that's fine. That just adds to the human nature of it all. So the first thing I started with is a paintbrush, because you guys know that I love painting. And I love arts and crafts and just all of those things. So I definitely had to put a little paintbrush in there just to give it that little touch of, yeah, this is me, I created this. And here I'm just gonna add some stickers now. You're gonna see me kind of creating this bouquet. And I really love these stickers because they're dimensional. They not only have the background part, but they also have like this little extra pieces added on top just to make it more 3D and pop out more. Now I really did wish that I had more single stems, you know, flowers that I can add in here, because I started kind of trying to figure out how I was going to fill this in with everything not coming to one side, because you know that these stickers, when they're made, they're usually made to point in one direction, and it's really hard to kind of get them pointing in a different direction. But I was able to kind of, you know, just cut some up and just kind of work with it a little bit, and did some trimming where I needed to do some trimming, and just remove parts that I didn't feel, you know, helped the piece overall. And just use little bits and pieces and, you know, different little stems here and there, and just made it work. So don't give up. Don't give up. Always try to find some way to make it work. There's always a way. Might take a little bit more time, but... So like you see those two right there, they look completely off. But in order to fix that, what I did is I just glued something right in the center of the both of them. So now it's not so much of a focal point, these two straight, you know, stems of flower. Now I can add other little things to kind of break that, you know, that parallel look a little bit more. And I do apologize for my terminology. I'm not well versed in, you know, the proper names of certain, you know, types of crafts and styles. I just do what I do, and that's all that I can do as far as, you know, naming things the proper way. That's not really my forte, so I do apologize for that. You'll learn how to do things, you just won't learn how to name things. But I hope that's okay with you guys. As much as I try to remember like what certain things are called, like certain techniques or certain processes are called, yeah, those things escape me completely. So here, just adding a little bit of adornment on the corner, and then later on in the video I actually end up going back into it and adding one right where the brush is at, just to, I had one more piece left over after I've pretty much demolished all of these stickers, and so I just put it on the side where the brush is, just to complete that look in the front. But I'm almost done with this, and here I'm just adding some little individual pieces of petal that were part of the sticker set, and just made it look like some petals are falling down. And I'm still trying to just add more, because I didn't want it to just look like this you know, flower pot, if you will, just kind of out of nowhere. So added a few little pieces here and there just to kind of complete it, and then I think I'm pretty much done with the front. I didn't add any kind of sentiment or anything like that, because I think something like this sometimes doesn't really even need a sentiment. You know, for me, not all things need sentiments. Like, it's nice when, you know, it's nice when you do them, but you don't have to worry too much if you don't have them. I'm not really somebody who's really big on sentiments. I don't own many of them. I have some stamps here and there that do have some words, but for the most part, nothing that is, you know, like, oh my god, I have to use this type of a situation. So I just pretty much, I think that what I lack in some areas, I overachieve maybe in details, and maybe that's a strong way to put it, but I guess if you're satisfied with how you're creating what you're creating, then you've achieved it. So overall, I ended up very satisfied with the look and feel of this flip book, so I think I did it. So here I'm just adding little flowers again, and then what you see me dabbing it with is just this little sock that I have full of baby powder for when I do embossing. It's a technique that I learned here on YouTube. And it just helps to remove some of the statics, but when it comes to stickers, adding slapping it a few times with that will remove any stickiness that is still left over from areas that are exposed, so you're not creating this sticky stuff, you know. You don't have the stickiness kind of you know, on your stickers left over. And here I'm just removing some trimming off some paper from this sticker here, that so that it has a flush feeling with that little border there. And here I'm just going to alternate some corners. Like I said, I had quite a few of the same sets because every time I see them, I buy them. I absolutely love them. And unfortunately, they don't always carry them. And when they do, I'm sure people go crazy and just buy them all, which I don't blame them because I try to do the same thing. But they didn't have many. And I probably should not have used all of them. But you know what? We buy things to create with them, not to look at them and or store them. At least for me, it is of the utmost importance that if I buy something, I use it, even if I don't use it right away, but that I definitely, you know, take them out and use them, you know, like don't hoard them. There's some things that you want to hoard, but you can only hoard them for so long, or you'll end up either selling it, giving it away, you know, and all that joy and all of that excitement that you felt when you purchased it kind of goes out the window. I mean, that's how I feel. That's my perspective on it. I know some people are not like that, but I cannot just have pretty things laying around me and not put them to use. They have to be used some way, somehow. For me, it kind of defeats the purpose. So here I pulled out another set of stickers. And I really like these little button ones. And it's just a butterfly and a bird, but I had enough that I can put, you know, alternate them and put all 4 of them, one on each one. And I think it gave that little flap just the right touch because it's got that very nice chocolatey glittery brown, and it kind of complements the rest of the colors. But overall, like I said, you know, I'm really excited, and I really did like how it came out. And it has a little bit of bulk, but that's what the good thing about the spine is that it allows you to add dimensional things on the inside without worrying that you've overdone it or you've underdone it. You have enough space that if you want to add tags, if you want to add dimensional stickers, you know, little things here and there, you can go right ahead and do it, and know that your spine will allow you enough room so that you can still close your pages. Now these are ribbons that I purchased at Dollar Tree, and funny enough, I found them in the Christmas section when I went a little while ago. So I found this one. This got like gold leaves, which I loved from the moment I saw it. And then I got another one with pumpkin on it. So that, I mean, that pretty much was like, okay, definitely going in this book. Love it. Love it, love it. So pretty much that's what I did. And I just held them across. Now, I didn't attach it all the way down because I wasn't sure if I was going to be adding a tag to this or not. So I just pretty much glued them on both ends to create just like a little belly band, if you will, just to be able to add some, you know, some tags, or if I wanted to add some photo mats or something like that, I can feel free to do so and know that they were going to be held in place. And then I used some to cover up just the outside of the spine. I didn't put none on the inside just so that I don't, you know, interfere with its ability to close properly and or fold open and close. But I think again it added just the perfect little touch. It's got a little bit of shine. It's got a little bit of everything. It's even got a little bit of glitter. So, and there you can see that I add something inside just to make sure. And then I always like to burn the edges off wherever I can. Because as you know, this is made from recycled plastic, so if you burn the edges off, they'll melt. Just do it very quickly. Don't stay, you know, don't just put the lighter on it, you just kind of flash it through, and usually that helps to kind of seal that end so you don't have any of that material kind of running off and unraveling. And here I did the same thing. I wanted a little tug spot, but I didn't want to have to create a pocket for it. So what I did is I just glued it on both ends. I angled one side so that it matches with the envelope angle, and then I just glued it on the top and on the other side, and then all along the bottom, as you can see here. And this pretty much just lets me have a little tug spot, which you'll see me use later on, where I'll be adding some tags to it that I'll be making. And little by little, this book is coming together. Now, I wanted to create a closure for this. which you didn't have to, because as you can see, it does hold itself really, really well. This was just like a little extra, just a little extra something something. And it actually helped out because then I didn't have to decorate the back. So I was able to, you know, kind of do two things with one. So I'm going to be attaching Velcro to this, and I'll be using a heat gun to kind of, well, glue gun pretty much, to kind of go ahead and attach two little pieces of Velcro. And it's not supposed to be like super duper, you know, sturdy. It's just supposed to kind of hold it closed, so that your book is not like flying open all over the place. So you can use magnets for this, or there's other different types of enclosures that you can use. This is just what I had available at the time. I probably would have, if I thought about this further before I started it, I probably would have put some magnets there. That probably would have been a lot better, or a different kind of enclosure than the little strips of Velcro. But it did the job, and that's all, you know, that's all I can ask for. It did the job. It holds it closed, and it's not too hard to get off, open and close. So it does the job. So it's pretty good. I'm happy. I would have loved for it to have been brown though. Oh, that would have been so nice, but I wasn't that lucky. So here I'm gonna be creating some photo mats. So I'm just looking at my notes and just seeing the measurements so that I make sure that I cut them in the right size, so that they fit inside. Now I'm gonna end up cutting this, I believe it was at about 7 inches by 5 and 1/8. So height wise I kept it the same, but lengthwise, let me see, am I saying this right? I made the 7 by 1/8 inch, I made that a little bit shorter, just so that I make sure that I have enough room inside of the envelope and it wasn't getting kind of stuck, or it wasn't hard to get it in and get it out. So I can see that I'm having a problem there, so I just go ahead and trim like 1/8 of an inch on all of them again. So it might have been a little bit like 7 to maybe a little bit smaller than that, but again just by like 1/8 of an inch, just so that it goes in and out rather smoothly. So again, you know, don't worry, always play around with you know, your sizes and your dimensions, so that, you know, your projects you know, flow well. This was the very first time that I tried this, and like everything else with me, I just kind of go for it. I never really have a set plan. I have a goal, but never really set plan. It's just something that I just, you know what, let me sit down here and just create a flip book. I haven't done those in a while. That's pretty much how I went about it. And then I started looking through my sticker sets and just seeing how it all went, how, you know, what I had available. And how I have my stickers right now is actually, I have a Clip It Up that was gifted to me from Kelly. And pretty much what I did is I turned her one tier into a 2-tier. So I glued them one over the other and made a 2-tier out of it, and I used the E6000 glue to glue it. So now I just have to spin it, which is so awesome. Oh, you're such a lifesaver, Kelly. Thank you so much. I just spin it now and just look at what I have without having to go through boxes and cases and, you know, pull out albums and so on and so forth. So it just really, really makes life easier. And I actually gave the top tier to my hubby. So he has the top tier and I have the bottom tier, because he's also crafting now, for those of you that have not gone to check it out. He's actually gonna be doing the hop with us. For those of you that don't know, he goes by Sasson and Crafts, and he's very new to it, and like in a way I kind of feel a little bit bad, like, oh my god, I put him in a hop and he might not be ready for it. But you know, I'm the kind of person that I just do things, so maybe that's not necessarily his way of handling stuff, but I think he in a way is very similar, because he kind of just jumped into crafting and said, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try and I'm gonna do it. So I mean, you learn by trial and error, right? So why not? So for right now, he's in the hop, in the Holly Jolly Christmas hop, and I cannot wait to see what he does with it, and not so much what he does with it, but how much he grows from it, because all the different things that we're going to be doing on there, there are definitely a few things that he's never done, so it'll be very interesting to see you know, how he handles not just the pressure of you know, deadlines when it comes to crafting and stuff like that, but also the versatility of the projects, just to see if he's still in love with crafting after we're done. Hopefully he still is. Hopefully he loves it even more, just because he sees how much we can actually do with it. But yes, so it'll be exciting to see. It'll definitely be exciting to see. So here my photo mats are done, and I attached a little bit of ribbon on the ends, just so that I can pull them out of the envelopes without having to, you know, too much of a hassle getting them in and out. So they slide in easy and they pull out easy, which that's exactly what I wanted. And I'm using both styles of the ribbons that I purchased for this flip book. And hopefully you guys are okay with all my ramblings. I didn't want to go in and out of putting music into the video. I figured I might as well just, you know, talk you guys through it. We don't have much longer to go. The next thing I'm going to be doing after I do these mats is going to be creating some tags. And then that'll pretty much be it. I just put 4 photo mats and 4 tags. They are large for being tags, but they're not as large as the photo mats. And I just left these kind of plain. I didn't add any stickers to them. I didn't add any areas for anything else. I figured whoever ends up receiving this, whoever I end up giving it to, can add, you know, a little label on the back, or they can add something on the back to kind of, you know, journal on it, or, you know, write down whatever they felt or they thought for the day or for the picture, or whatever the case may be. I'm not sure if I'm going to be what I'm going to be doing as far as giveaway for my for the Holly Jolly Christmas Hop. I really do want to do like give away the things that I create, one for every video that we're going to be having. So I'm definitely going to put a lot of time and energy into creating some really nice things for you guys, because I think that that's the way that I'm going to go, is just to give away the crafts that I create. And if not, then I'll definitely find something to do that is special nonetheless. So maybe some handmade flip books, maybe, I'm not sure. What would you guys like to receive? If you see this whole video in its entirety, then maybe you guys can give me some ideas of how to go about that. I'm always open to suggestions and thoughts. For those of you that joined me on my live streams, you'll know that I always ask you guys, like, what color with this, with that. It's not because I lack creativity. It's because I love to engage you. I love to see you guys engaged and, you know, giving me your thoughts and your insights. And I really do value you guys' opinion. You know, and every time you guys tell me something, it just makes my project even that much more, you know, beautiful to me. It makes it mean that much more to me, because it's, even though I'm manufacturing it, if you will, you guys help create it. So that's why you guys always hear me asking you guys for feedback, so on and so forth. I actually do take them into account, and if you've watched me live, you know that I take your opinions and I put them to work right then and there. So I should hopefully be coming live this Saturday. I had unexpected visits last Saturday. I was supposed to come on live last Saturday, but my brother showed up. I mean, he came bearing gifts because he brought me the envelopes. But yeah, he kind of showed up unannounced. So there went that live stream. But I'll be on hopefully this Saturday if everything works well. And I'll be creating something. I don't know what yet. But it'll be something fun as usual. So hopefully you guys will all be there, ready with your coffee, your coffees and your cakes, and your scissors and your glues and your papers, and you'll be crafting right along with me. So here I'm still trying to kind of see, like, okay, how I'm gonna do this, I have these strips, I have some scraps left over, and especially when it comes to flip books, I really always try to use up as many of my scraps as possible. Only because I end up accumulating quite an amount of, you know, just scraps. And then they don't get used because I always pull out a fresh sheet. So when it comes to these kind of projects, it's really awesome that I can just go ahead and pull those little scraps right back out and say, you know what, I can turn these into tags, I can turn this into photo mats, I can turn this into this or that, and just add little pieces that kind of embellish and or, you know, fill up the flip book. And I definitely have to do this way more often. The one things that I haven't really tackled on here, is making pocket letters, which I think I'm gonna do probably a video or two creating some pocket letters. Pocket letters for me, how can I say it? Like, I like them, I love receiving them, but I don't know, I guess because it's kind of restricting, because of the individual pockets themselves. They're like very restricting. You know, the plastic sleeves come already made. All you have to do is kind of cut these papers up and fill them up, and I mean, you know, like I said, I love receiving them. People do some amazing things with, you know, those little 9 pockets, let me tell you. But for me, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm the kind of person that likes to build things from the ground up. Okay, hold on. So here I'm just kind of finishing up the rest of these tags, and again, just using up the scraps. And this is very similar to what you create for a pocket letter in a way. They're just in smaller sizes. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make one and see. I tried to create something called the Hot Pockets, but it didn't really catch on too well, which is a pocket letter, but it's made all out of paper from the ground up. But the regular pocket letters are just so much easier to do. So here I'm just using a Martha Stewart punch, and I'm just cutting out some strips again in some kind of belly band type of style. I just want to be able to add stuff to it, be able to add a picture or a little note, or just, you know, any little thing that I wanted to add without having to create a pocket. So I figured it has 4 envelopes, that's enough pockets. So I didn't want to add any additional pockets to like the tags or anything else. So here I'm just pretty much going to be adding these as my little belly bands, if you will. It's not a complete belly band because it doesn't go all the way around, but just like a little strap. And here I'm just cutting out some circles that I use again, Martha Stewart, you know, to create. And I'm just trimming off whatever little excess I have, and then I'm just going to be gluing these down and then adorning it with the little circle there, and then I'm going to be going into whatever's left over of my stickers and just kind of adding something to those circles so that they're not just plain little circles. They're going to have a little dimensional something because I'm going to be adding a sticker to it. So I'm going to do this for all 4. So yes, you know, you guys feel free to let me know, again, suggestions. You know, you guys have seen something somewhere, you guys would like to see me try it, and maybe you've never seen it, let me know. I love trying new things out. Love it. For me, sometimes the more challenging it is, the more fun I have creating it. Sometimes, and I think that's what happens to me sometimes, when I create simpler crafts, I end up overdoing it because I find them so simple that it's like, okay, this definitely needs something else, which is usually not the case. It's just my mind's overworking. But yes, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, all my ramblings. We're almost coming to an end. I do want to thank you guys so much for, you know, hanging out with me, listening to me, commenting on my videos, subscribing to my channel, supporting me overall from the beginning. I've been here for like 2.5 years now, and time does fly when you are creating and having fun, doesn't it? It seems like yesterday I came on, but I have grown so much. I have met so many wonderful people. I have made so many wonderful friends. And I do want to thank you guys so much again for just supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. I feel so blessed, honestly. I really do. I feel so blessed just to be able to come on here and just create for you guys. You know, it helps me out in so many ways you guys will never know. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoy. I just have a few more little stickers and embellishments to add on these tags, and they will be finito. They will be done. I just used the hole punch because I don't have an eyelet setter, and I gave away, because I didn't have an eyelet setter, I gave away all the little eyelets that I had, and so all I can do is just use the paper punch to kind of put the little hole there, which is fine. It does the job, so I'm good to go. But yeah, you won't see none of that fancy schmancy stuff because I don't have one. But again, work with what you have and be proud of it. I'm super duper proud to work with what I have. Even Dollar Tree items make beautiful things, you guys. It's all about trying and feeling it out. See how it feels to you. Sometimes you'll look at something and it's like, it feels off skew, like it doesn't feel right. I feel like it needs something else, and don't be scared to add that something else. If you love it, then it's good to go. If you're still wondering, then experiment a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. I do a lot of experimenting before I actually get something right. You'd be surprised. If I had a blooper reel, you guys would be like, what? You'll probably be shocked. But yes, I do. I make a lot of mistakes. I don't give up. And you can't either. Keep it going. Keep it trying. I remember when I first got on here, I didn't even get that many views. I still don't get a bazillion views. But I know that the people that are really interested in what I'm doing are watching. Because not only are they watching, but they're leaving their comments. And I appreciate that. That really does bring a smile to my heart every time I see you guys' comment. So thank you so much for that. So here I'm just going to add a little bit of a ribbon to each of the tags, just so that they have a little something. And again, whoever receives it, they can put it right in the pocket, because it will fit inside of the pocket. So if they don't want to have it in the spot where I'm going to put them at, then they don't have to. If they want to add a picture instead there, or if they want to add something else there, then they can feel free to do so. I don't create these things to keep them. I create these things to give them away. There's no way that I can have all of these things. I don't have enough room to keep everything that I make. Oh my God, I'll be on overflow. So yeah, every time I create something, I create it with the purpose of, I know this is going to eventually go to somebody. I know this is it's going to eventually become somebody else's. So, if you ever receive anything that I give you, feel free to make it your own. If you want to add something, if you want to change something, if you want to do something to it, by all means, go right ahead. I have no problems with that. So now you're going to pretty much see me add the last little piece, because I wanted to use it. I wanted all of the tags to be the same, but I didn't have enough stickers. So I ended up making two the same, two different. So I had this one little piece left over. So here I'm just going to glue it all on. And just make sure, you guys, that when you use these stickers that you do add some glue on there, because they will fall off with time if you don't glue them down. Which is why you see me glue every single little one of those stickers, just because I know how they are. It's happened to me before. So I just learned from experience, add the glue. So here I'm just adding the tags, and I'm only going to be adding the tags to 2 of the pages, but I did make 4 because I do have 4 envelopes, and just in case, like I said, somebody wants to put one in each envelope, they can feel free to go ahead and do so. But yes, this is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and there's some pictures following up. Bye, you guys, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching.